Hey you guys, it's your girl Simone and welcome back to my channel. So you guys, I love y'all so much that I'm doing 2 story times in this 1 week. Yeah, that's because I love y'all. But before we get started into this story, y'all, this is another crazy situation, but not with crazy, but with Joe. But yeah, y'all know what I mean. Before we get started, if you're not already doing so, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, give your girl a thumbs up and comment down below. And also, y'all, go follow me on social media. My Instagram is Vivalayoshii. I'll put the way it's spelled over there somewhere. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So this is another story time about Joe. I'm like, let me bring him in. So anyway, let's go get into this. Let me close my window because it's loud. All right, I'm back, y'all. Okay, so this story takes place back when I was 18. I was 18 at this time because I had my car, and I had bought my car like when I turned 18, whatever. Yeah, so around this time, you know, me and Joe still together, whatever, like that. And it's crazy, y'all, because when I end up getting a car, like, I don't know, did I mention this before in my last story? No, I didn't. But anyway, when I ended up getting a car, it was so weird. Like, Joe was just like, remember how he felt some type of way when I went to school? Like, when I actually went and got me a car, I felt like Joe did not like he was irritated or something. But he had a car, so I was just confused. But it was just weird, like, he used to hate. Anyway, so it was one day, whatever, I had my car, and y'all, when I had bought a car, let me tell y'all, I did not know how to drive. I had never drove before. I probably drove a little bit, like, to a corner. That's about it. I had never drove. I did not know how to drive. I didn't have no license, no permit, nothing. I just went and bought a car, and I was like, I'm gonna teach myself how to drive, which I expected Joe to teach me how to drive because he already had a car and knew how to drive, but Joe was already irritated that I had a car, so for some reason. So yeah, I'm gonna get to them stories because your girl used to have a lot of dents, y'all. Anyway, on this certain day, whatever, I was at Joe's house and we was kicking it. So I pulled up and we just kicking it in like the where the parking spaces is at or whatever in his building. And it's like a lot of buildings next to each other, and all the parking is like, it's not like blocked off or gated off or nothing like that. It's like all right there so you can see everybody or whatever. So this one day, it was this boy that he ended up meeting that lived in the building over from him. So we're going to call this boy Stinky Feet. And we're going to name him Stinky Feet because the boy feet used to stank so damn bad. Y'all, so anyway. So he ended up meeting this boy named Stinky Feet because he used to, you know, go outside and smoke and stuff. And I guess he had met Stinky Feet like that. So he ended up introducing me to Stinky Feet, whatever. Stinky Feet was cool. Like, we all just talking it up, chatting it up, whatever. So it started getting cold. And mind you, we just sitting in the car, and it was like started getting cold and stuff. And I think it was some show on back then or something like that was about to come on. So Stinky Feet was like, y'all want to come in my house? Because Joe didn't have cable, whatever. So Stinky Feet like, y'all want to come to my house and watch some TV? But at this time, I was about to get ready to go. So I'm just like, nah, it's cool. You know, like, I'm about to go. So Joe was like, okay, well, I'll see you later. I'm about to go in Stinky Feet house. Boom. Whatever. So I didn't go in Stinky Feet house. So let's fast forward. Like a few days later, probably like 4 days later, my homegirl ended up coming out here and she was hanging out with me. So we pulled up over there at Joe's house, and Stinky Feet outside. We all talking, they smoking, whatever. We all just chilling, talking, whatever, like that. So at this time, Joe was chilling in the car. The next thing you know, a girl started coming outside. And we're going to name this girl Turtle. And only reason why we're naming her Turtle is because she smelled like a damn turtle. Like, she smelled like, y'all know how the turtles smell? Like, if you have a turtle and you need to clean I was going to say the cage, the whatever the hell the turtle be in. You know, you need to clean it and it stinks so damn bad. That's how my little mama smelled. Like a damn nasty ass. She smelled like a dirty turtle. So anyway, when the girl started walking up, she was like, Stinky Feet, like calling him and walking up. So Joe was like, oh shit, like, I'll be back. And he left and went in the house. So I'm just like, I didn't know who this girl was. So we just chilling. She ended up coming over there and she talking to Stinky Feet, and she like, hi. So we like, hi, what's up, whatever. And he like, Stinky Feet like, oh, this my sister, this Turtle. So we like, oh, what's up, Turtle? Like, you know, and she like, oh, what y'all doing? We was finna just go to the mall, like, you know, and get something to eat and stuff like that. And she was like, oh, I want to go. Like, I want to go. And she's like, where did Joe go? Like, why did he leave when I walked up? And she laughing. And I'm like, oh, I think he was finna go in the house to get something. Like, we really finna leave or whatever. So she like, oh, that's funny. Like, he scared to see me or something. And I'm just like, I was like, why would he be scared to see you? Like, and I'm just laughing. She was just like, nothing, whatever. And then her brother was just like, Stinky Feet was just like, oh, this Simone, this is Joe's girlfriend. And she's like, you Joe's girlfriend? I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, all right. And she just started laughing. And she like, how long y'all been together? So I told her, like, you know, we've been together all this time, blah, blah, blah. And she just like, oh, okay, that's cute. Like, that's cute, you know, and I'm just like, yeah. So she's like, oh, I'm for sure going with y'all to the mall. So I'm like, all right, yeah. She was like, can I come? Like, is it cool? I'm like, yeah, it's cool. You could come. So then she ended up was like, okay, well, I'm about to go get my stuff and I'll be right back down. So she ended up going back, leaving to go get her stuff or whatever. Joe comes back outside and Joe was like, let's go. Like, oh, that bitch is annoying. She's irritating. But he's saying this like to me though, like they can't hear because it's like kind of whispering to me. Like I end up getting out the car and I'm just like, oh, that's Stinky Feet sister. I'm like, she seemed cool. I'm like, she want to come with us to the mall. And he's like, hell no. He's like, Stinky Feet couldn't. No, she cannot come. And he was just like, bro, she want to come. Like, he's like, hell no, she can't come. And he was like, you told her she could come? Like, and I'm just like, yeah, she seemed cool. We just going to get something to eat. That's Stinky Feet sister, right? Like, you know, he like, hell no, she cannot come. What the fuck? Why you always got to be so fucking nice? Like, why would you tell her she could come? And I'm like, that's Stinky Feet's sister. Like, how I look like saying, hell no, bitch, I don't know you. Like, I'm like, why? I'm like, he's like, she just irritating. Like, she annoying as fuck. So I'm just like, the fuck? So he was like, yeah, let's just leave. So I'm like, I feel bad if we leave. And he like, Simone, let's leave. Like, he yelling at me at this point because I'm just like, all right. So right when we was finna pull off, Turtle comes downstairs and she like, hey, wait. So I stopped and he was like, he telling me, go, drive off. And I'm just like, you know, and Stinky Feet just sitting there in the backseat like, not saying nothing. And mind you, at this time, Joe was sitting in the backseat with Stinky Feet because they was gonna smoke and stuff like that. So he let my homegirl sit. Well, not let her, but she sat in the front and yeah. So she was like, wait, and Joe like, drive off, like do it. Like he telling me to drive off. He's yelling at me like shaking his head like, come on, drive off. And I'm just like, no, I'm gonna just stop. She's literally right here. Like she's right there like, hi, like waving like, hey, wait for me. And I'm supposed to just speed past her. Like, mind you, you're cool with Stinky Feet and I be over here all the time. Why would I be mean to this girl? I'm gonna see her all the time. Like, why would I want to come off as the bitch? Like, if anything, you tell her that she can't come. You tell her you don't want her to come. Like, don't put it on me. Like, the fuck? So I just stopped and I was like, all right. So he was like, man, he told my homegirl like, let me get in the front. And she was like, all right, cool. Like, I'm not tripping. So she got in the front. So in the backseat was Turtle, my homegirl, and Stinky Feet. And he just looking at me, Joe just looking at me mad as fuck. Like, he kept shaking his head because she just, the whole way there, they all laughing. And she like, I want to smoke. Can I hit your blunt? Like, can I hit your blunt? And he like, no. And she was just like, why are you acting like that? Like, don't start. He was just like, man, what the fuck? Like, turn up the radio. And I just noticed it's a lot of tension. So I was like, okay, note to self, ask him why he don't like her. Like, why is he being so mean to Turtle? Like, Turtle seemed cool. So anyway, we get to the mall or whatever, and we was gonna go, like, we really went to the mall because he wanted to go to Men's Land. So we went to the Fox Hills Mall. He wanted to go inside Men's Land or whatever, and we was gonna get something to eat out the food court or whatever, or we was probably gonna go to BJ's. But we most likely was supposed to go to BJ's, but things didn't go that way, and y'all see why. So we at the mall or whatever, and when we was walking, he like, oh, he finna go to Men's Land. So Men's Land was right, at that time, it was right across from Forever 21. So I'm like, all right, well, we finna go on Forever 21. And Turtle was like, I wanna go with y'all. I wanna go to Forever 21 with y'all. So Joe was like, Simone, I want you to come to Men's Land with me. I'm like, why? And he just like, because I wanted to get you something too. And I'm like, oh, well, you know my size, like, just get it. Like, he's like, no, I want you to get, like, I want you to pick it out. Like, I want you to see something, so just come. So I'm just like, all right. But at this point, I'm noticing it's like he didn't want her to be with us or something, because it was all like, okay, cool, until the last minute she was finna come with us, and now it's like, oh, I don't, whatever. So I'm just like, man, when it's all over, y'all gotta come with us inside of Forever 21, because we want to go in there. And he was like, all right. So we go inside of Men's Land. We walking around, y'all. Like, mind you, my homegirl, she went off and did her own thing, like looking at shoes and stuff. Stinky Feet over there looking at his own thing. Me and Joe, we walking around. He got his arm around me. Guess who's right up on us, like a third wheel? Turtle. She's on us. So he was like, man, because, like, you don't want to go look at something else yourself. Like, why are you following us around the store? And she was just, like, laughing. Like, she just would do this annoying-ass laugh. Like, I can't even do it. I'm annoyed. Like, I really wish I could do it for y'all. But she would just do this. You could tell, you know, somebody laughing extra for no fucking reason. Like, that's how she was laughing. Like, it was just really fucking extra out. So she just did that laugh, and he was just like, man, Stinky Feet, get your sister. Like, she's annoying. Like, and she was like, don't play with me. Don't play with me. And then he just, like, gave her a look, and she gave him a look, and it was just like, and I'm looking at him, I'm looking at her, and I'm like, what's up with y'all? Like, y'all doing too much. I'm like, we trying to, like, y'all need to stop. And she was just like, that's him. Get your boyfriend. Get your nigga. Like, but how she was saying it, like, she was putting, like, a lot on the your. So I'm just like, yes, my boyfriend. So at this point, I'm just like, but I had looked at her, like, I gave her a look like, the fuck? You know, because at this point, I'm just thinking, like, you doing the most, bitch. You're in my car. You could catch the bus back home, you and your damn stanky feet ass brother. But at this, so she was just, like, she could tell that I felt some type of way. So she, like, sis, I'm just kidding. She was like, I'm gonna go look at the Ugg boots. So she, like, walked over there. So we right there, we looking at something, and he just like, you know, I love you, right? Like, you doing the most. And I know when he do the most, it's something that he might be fearing that might come out or something, or some bullshit is gonna happen. Because it's like, why all of a sudden you doing the most? Wasn't you just shaking my seat and yelling at me in the car because I let the damn turtle in? Like, you know, so we in the store, he just like, I'm like, yeah, it's cool. And I'm just like, what do you want? Like, you know, you doing too much. And he was like, man, I'm just mad that she came. She just annoying. So I asked him, I'm like, what's up with that? Like, why are you so mean to her? And he was like, she just irritating. Don't she seem annoying? And I'm like, I guess. And he's like, I think she liked me or something, but that's just irritating. He's like, but I'm happy she see you, so she could just, like, you know, stop. So I'm like, all right, like, okay. So we still walking around the store or whatever, and he looking at shit for himself. Not nothing for me at all. Like, he's looking at some damn jeans for him, stuff for him, clothes for him. Not nothing for me at all. So at this point, I'm just like, all right, we finna go to Forever 21. And she was like, you said Forever 21? Because mind you, she was not too far at this point. And she was like, yeah, let's go, sis. Let's go. Come on. Like, talking to my homegirl, like, yeah, let's go. And he was just like, why you want to go? Why? He's like, you doing too much. Like, telling me I'm doing too much. I'm like, how am I doing too much? He's like, I said we'll go in there afterwards. Like, I'm gonna show you some shit. And I'm like, but you're looking at shit for you. So I'm confused at why I'm even in here. Like, you never looked at nothing for me at no point. Like, and never looked at nothing for me. So then, you know what this nigga gonna do? He gonna pick up these, and I'm mad. Damn, I'm mad my Facebook got deleted because it was some pictures I had on there in this shirt, whatever. So remember when Tiger had the brand Last Kings, whatever? He gonna pick up a size for him and a extra, like a really small one for me, and gonna say, let's get these, let's match. Nigga, what? Like, you just randomly did some shit. Like, you had no intentions on us matching. Like, at this point, now I'm thinking it's some shit going on. Like, it's some weird shit. Like, what he don't want her to tell me. In my mind, I'm thinking he probably tried to talk to one of her homegirls or something. She gonna try to tell me some shit. Like, he don't want, like, you know. So I'm just thinking, like, okay. So he So he picked up these shirts, and she went over there and she was just like, oh, you should buy me these shoes. Like, she picked up, it was like some Pumas or something. She was like, you should buy me these shoes. And he was just like, why the fuck would I buy you some shoes? And I just like looked like, like, the fuck? Like, you know, I did a little laugh and look like, really though? And she was just like, oh, you not gonna buy me these shoes? And he was just like, again, why? Like, he said it again, like, why the fuck would I buy you some shoes? And he's like, you know how fucking dumb you sound? Why would I buy you some shoes? And she was all like, cause you owe me. And she gave him a look like, yeah, nigga. And he was just like, hey, all y'all, like, he said to Stinky Feet and to my homegirl, he was like, hey, y'all, like, he called them, and he was like, I'm gonna buy everybody one thing, so everybody pick out something, I'm buying everybody something. And she was like, oh, generous, okay, baller, like, doing the most. And he was just like, man, just get whatever the fuck you want to get out my face. And I'm just like, okay. Like, my homegirl was like, you ain't gotta tell me twice. So she getting something for her. And Stinky Feet like, oh, thanks, like, you know. So I'm just like, all right, well, I'm not just about to get this fucking ugly ass Last King shirt that I didn't even want. So I ended up getting something, but I asked him, I said, why are you being so nice today? And he was like, it's my money, doesn't matter. And I'm just like, so I told him, I'm like, you're turning up too much. Like, I'm like, why are you turning up on me? Because at this point, I noticed he's irritated. He's like, I'm sorry, baby, I'm sorry. It's just her, she just getting on my nerves. And I'm like, okay, like, so at this point, she ended up coming, like, so she's not too far away. So I wanted to ask him, like, what do you owe her? And I should have asked him in front of her, but I just didn't even ask. So I'm gonna wait till we just by ourselves. I'm gonna ask him. So anyway, we ended up leaving that store. We ended up Forever 21, whatever. She still was doing like little annoying shit. Like, she'll pick up little shit and throw it at him and shit like that. And I noticed, and I was just like, the fuck? And she would just start calling him bro, because she'll notice me looking at her like, bitch, what is you doing? So she started calling him brother. So I'm like, okay, like, I don't know, maybe she is a little retarded or something. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say that word. I'm sorry if I offended anybody by saying retarded. Maybe she was a little slow. That's it. Maybe she was a little slow. Something at this point, like, the bitch is dumb. Like, the bitch is slow or something. So we end up going to the food court, and we getting something. We sitting down. We all sitting down. at the same table or whatever. So he's sitting next to me, everybody's sitting whatever. So she's sitting like across from me and him. So I noticed she's sitting at her phone and she texting, like going crazy with the text. Like, my remote gonna be my phone. So she texting and then she'll look up, and then next thing you know, this is when I started peeping shit. So she texting, like she'll look up and then she'll like look up and be looking. And I noticed his phone would like vibrate, like, so then he'll look and then he just wouldn't, like, nothing. So at this first point, I'm just thinking maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it's a fucking coincidence. So then next thing you know, she back. And she like, and then he just looked, and then he opened up his phone, and then he like, and then next thing you know, she like, so I'm noticing this. So I'm like, but everybody on their phones and shit. But I'm noticing this. So at this time, he want to keep his phone in his hand because it's starting to be obvious. Because I looked at him, because he starts seeing a noise. So I said, who are you talking to? And he was just like, nobody, it's the homies. Like, they want me to come through, and I don't want to come tonight. Like, they trying to go out. So I was like, oh, okay, well, tell them no. Like, because, you know, I'm noticing this, and he looking irritated. And she just smiling across from the table. And I just noticed, so I'm paying attention. So I'm like, the homies. In my head, I'm going to go through this nigga phone. But I don't do that no more. But, yeah, so I'm just like, okay. So, anyway, we get our food. We end up leaving. Because we was going to go to BJ's. But only reason why we didn't go to BJ's is because he was trying to get in and out. Like, he was not trying to be here at the mall with her no longer than how he was. So he was like, later, like, me, you, and your homegirl, maybe another one of my friends, we could go out to eat, but she can't, like, you know, I'm not trying to do all of that. So he's like, I'll take y'all out to eat later. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So anyway, we end up going back to dropping them off or whatever, and she ended up going in the house, like, disappearing. So we outside just chilling. It's just us. And then I think, okay, so yeah, whatever. So something, I think it was something like, he was like, he was like, he want to watch TV or something like that. So I was like, we could go in your house if it's cool. And what's his name? Joe. The fuck? I was gonna say his real name. And Joe was just like, no, what the fuck? Why would we go over there? Like, we ain't going in the house. I'm just like, he was like, how you gonna invite yourself in somebody's house? I'm like, he invited me in his house before, like, all of us, like, before, so what's the problem? And he was just like, no, like, the fuck? But mind you, the sister, I think she had said, she told us she was leaving, but I don't think Joe knew, because she said it to, like, me and my homegirl, like, when she got back home, she was gonna leave, because she was like, oh, we leave anytime soon, because I'm gonna go somewhere when I get home. So he not knowing she gone, so I'm just thinking, like, all right. So when it was time for me and my homegirl to leave, because at this point we just irritated, like, well, not irritated, but we didn't want to kick it with them in the parking lot no more. So we was finna go, and I'm like, all right, well, what you finna do? Like, what you finna get into? And he's like, I'm probably going to Stinky Feet house and watch TV. So you could go in Stinky Feet house and watch TV, but you don't want me and my homegirl to go to Stinky Feet house and watch TV? Because mind you, Stinky Feet, when I said that, he was just like, yeah, it's cool, we can go in the house. So you don't want, so at this point, I'm thinking like, but mind you, I know that he does not know that old girl is not there. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So anyway, that happened. Days go by, whatever, boom. You know, I'm still like with him. I did not see, like, I probably like seen her, not really, probably like a few days went by. My homegirl left. It was probably like 3 days went by or some shit like that, because my homegirl was there for like the weekend or whatever. So probably like this is a Tuesday now. All that shit happened probably like on a Friday. So this is like a Tuesday now. And, you know, I'm going over there. We going over there because we hang out with Joe and shit like that. So I go over there. I have not seen old girl. Like, I have not seen Turtle. So this day when I'm over there, now I'm by myself. My homegirl went back home. I'm by myself or whatever. And I go over to Joe's house. So I pull up, you know, in the parking area. And I'm just like, all right, well, come down when you're ready. Because when I had got there, he was like, oh, I'm about to hop in the shower. I'm like, okay, you cool. Well, I'm going to stay in the car. Because I didn't want to go in the house. Because mind y'all, after that whole situation with the mama and the other bitch on the couch, and Potato on the couch, I really wasn't feeling to be around family like that, because I just felt like they fake. And I'm the type now, ever since that situation, I really don't, like, it depends. But I just was like, I don't want to be around your mama and she's smiling in my face, but then it's like, you're going to be smiling in the next bitch face. So I'd rather just keep my distance, honey. So, you know, even though she don't owe me no type of loyalty, but it's like, I just don't got time. Don't do that fake shit with me. Don't smile in my face and be smiling in the next bitch face. You can say hi, bye, whatever, but like, you know, whatever. I don't know. So I just used to just be in my car. So I'm like, I'm gonna chill in my car. So while I'm waiting for him, I'm sitting in the car, whatever like that. And Stinky Feet start walking towards my car, and he just like, oh, what's up? Where Joe at? So I'm like, oh, he in the house. He getting dressed and shit. Like, I'm waiting for him. He like, oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna wait right here. He's like, do you mind like if I sit in the car? And I was like, go ahead. Like, I don't care. Like, you know. So Turtle ended up just getting dropped off at home, and she got the car, and she see us in the car or whatever, because we got the door open. We just like laughing and shit like that. So she like, hi Stinky Feet, like, hi bro. And he like, hi. So I just like smiled like at her, and she didn't say shit to me. Like, she just gave me like a little mad look. So I'm just like, the fuck? And mind you, I hate this. If I say hi to you, if I speak or I smile to you and you don't smile back at me, even in public, like when it be females, because I don't want people, you know, the people think like, oh, why the fuck the bitch look at me like that? Even, and we don't know each other, whatever. If I smile at you or whatever and you don't smile back at me, I'm hot. Now I'm mad. Like, now I want to be like, bitch, fuck you. Like, so I was irritated. Like, no, I did not just smile at this bitch, and she just gave me like a weird look, like the fuck I'm smiling at her for. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. So we just still laughing, whatever, talking. And Joe ended up coming down, and he like, oh, what's up, Stinky Feet? Like, you know, he was just like, Stinky Feet, I'm gonna link with you later, because me and Simone just finna hang out, just us, like we finna go somewhere, whatever. So he like, oh, okay, like, can I come? And he like, bro, no, it's just gonna be us. Like, we just finna go do something real quick. Like some hang out, like, and I'll chill with you later. So he was just like, oh, okay, it's all good, bro. It's all good. And it is, Stinky Feet ended up turning out to be a dog ass nigga to Joe. But hey, that's not my story to tell. But anyway, so Stinky Feet was weird. I'm just thinking like, why do you want to come? So Stinky Feet wanted to come. It's gonna make sense why Stinky Feet wants to come later. It's gonna make sense. So anyway, so he ended up leaving or whatever like that, and we left for the day, whatever. So at this time, he used to ask me like, do you want to spend the night? I was like, no, I don't want to spend the night, because I didn't, again, want to be around, you know, I don't want to spend the night at your house. So I was just like, you could come spend the night at my house later, like if you want to, because mind you, he had a car or whatever. So I'm like, later you come spend the night at my house if you want to. But and he's like, all right, cool, because I was finna link with Stinky Feet, like we was finna go do something. I was finna put him on to some money or some shit. So I'm like, all right, just come later. So I went home, and time went by. So I ended up texting him like, hey babe, like I'm finna go to sleep, I'm tired, like are you still gonna come by? And he was just like, no reply at all from Joe. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. So at this point, I'm just like, I'm finna go to sleep. So I'm laying there. I don't know what happened, y'all, because I don't know if all Scorpios is like this, but I think I'm psychic, y'all. And sometimes I be on it, and my friends be like, bitch, you are y'all. So anyway, I don't know what happened. So I'm laying there. I just couldn't sleep. And because the type of person Joe was, it was a lot of jail. So, you know, and he's in the street. So I didn't know, like, my mind is racing. Like, oh my God, is he in jail? Like, is he, like, what? Like, you know, so I just couldn't sleep. But something popped in my head and just was like, something not right. So I called him, because mind you, I never called him. So I called him, and he never answered, but the phone rung. So I'm like, okay, I know he's done doing what he was doing, because he said he was done. So I go on Facebook. Let me see if you active. I go on the computer. I go on Facebook. Bro's active on Facebook. So I'm like, why is this nigga ignoring me? The fuck? So I'm just like, I made a post, like, because I don't know, back then I used to always do that shit. I used to just sub a lot. So I made a post, and I was just like something like good night or some shit, or sleeping alone or I miss my bed, some shit, I don't know, it was something petty though. So he ended up texting me and was just like, I love you, I'm sleepy, I'm gonna just stay home. So I'm just like, okay. Mind you, why you didn't call me back? Any other time he'd call me back, like it would be times where we'd be like fall asleep on the phone and shit like that if we not spend the night together. So that was weird, like why are you not calling me back? So I'm just like, all right, I'm like, I'm going to call you because I want to tell you good night. Like, you know, just, I didn't really care to say goodnight over the phone. I just wanted to see if he was going to answer. So I tried to call. He didn't answer. He never texts back. He didn't answer. Y'all, okay, I can admit, sometimes I used to be toxic too, like everybody else. At this point, yeah, I know y'all probably thinking, girl, he said he was going to sleep. If he was going to sleep, why you couldn't just answer the phone? Why you wouldn't? It's not even that. I knew my boyfriend. Like, so I knew you was not going to sleep. Like, I knew you was on some bullshit. So again, Facebook tell you when somebody liking shit. The nigga is liking stuff. You're on Facebook, you're active, you're liking shit, you're not asleep, but you're not answering the phone neither. Like, okay, what the fuck really going on? So yeah, again, like when I said I could have been toxic a little bit, at least I admit the shit. So this is what I used to do. So I was blowing the phone up, blowing his phone up, but I would call from my cell phone and the house phone, so nobody could get through. But I'll call private. Y'all, it's annoying. I was annoying. So I'm blowing the phone up. At this point, I don't even care. I ain't got shit else to do, so I'm just read out. Ring, ring, ring. Like, and it was just, I don't know. I already called a lot of times. That's sad. Anyway, but after all, I got tired of calling, and I ended up getting on the phone with one of my friends. I'm just like, bitch, like, what the fuck, like, talking to her or whatever. So, like, next thing you know, probably, like, it's at this time, it's probably, like, 1 in the morning, and me and my homegirls just still on the phone. I'm just over the whole situation with Joe. I'm not even worried about him no more. I ended up getting a text from Joe. Mind you, when I'm blowing his phone up, he never answered, never called, never text, nothing. But, mind you, I seen him on Facebook. So, I ended up getting a text from Joe, and it was just like, I'm sorry, Simone, and they spelled my name wrong as hell. And I was just like, mind you, he know how to spell my name because, again, another cover-up that I got. I only got 2 cover-ups in my life, and I ain't doing that shit ever again. But anyway, so we had each other's names, like, you know how to spell my fucking name. Like, you know who I am. You know who the fuck I am. Like, anyway, so it spelled my name wrong and was just like, I'm sorry, Simone. And I'm like, yeah, because you on bullshit. And I was all like, but we'll talk tomorrow. And he was all like, no, I'm sorry, I don't want to be with you no more. And at this point, I knew it was weird because I'm just like, why do you spell my name like that? But I was just so irritated when I just seen that it slipped my mind until I reread it. And, you know, you realize shit later. So he was like, I'm sorry, I don't want to be with you no more. So I'm just like, what the fuck happened? So I text and I just start calling, you know, because I'm like, it's too much to text at this point because, bitch, you got me fucked up. So I'm just like, he not answering. So I'm like, what happened? What the fuck are you talking about? And he was just like, I'm in love with somebody else. And he's like, I've been meaning to tell you this, but I love Turtle. Mind you, at this point, I don't know. I'm thinking, like, who the fuck is this name? Like, y'all, because I didn't just remember the bitch name like that. So I'm thinking, like, who the fuck is Turtle? I said, who the fuck is that? Like, I'm just like, what the fuck? So I'm sitting here and I'm on the phone with my homegirl on the house phone. So I'm like, bitch, like, I'm like telling her, and she was like, bitch, Turtle, that's Stinky Feet's sister. I said, what? So I said, Joe, stop playing on my fucking phone. And I'm like, and why you not answering the phone? And he was just like, she's pregnant. I'm sorry. Like, but we should just stop talking. Just stop. Don't call my phone no more. I'm about to block you. Like, I love her. Mind you, at this time, he had been knowing Turtle and Stinky Feet for probably like a month. So, how the fuck? She's what? So I'm like, so this time, at this point, I'm getting real disrespectful. I said, bitch, stop fucking playing with me. I'm like, Joe, stop fucking playing with me. Pregnant? I said, you serious? I said, or is this a joke? I'm like, for real, stop playing with me. So I'm shaking, I'm sweating, my stomach dropping. I was like, oh, I'm on the phone with my homegirl, like, bitch, I'm mad. I'm like, I want to go over there. I'm mad. I'm like, should I pull up right now? Should I pull up right now? My homegirl, like, bitch, it's 1 in the morning. Mind you, if I would have pulled up, I was not going to go knock on his door. I'm not disrespectful. I was not going to knock on the door. I was just going to pull up to see, like, if his car was there, like, because what the fuck? So I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? So I ended up texting, because I had Stinky Feet number. So I ended up texting Stinky Feet, and I was like, hey, you with Joe? And he was just like, no reply. So I'm just like, girl, I'm mad as fuck. She was like, just wait till the morning, you know, just wait till the morning. So at this time, I tried to call him again. I was blocked. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm irritated as fuck. And I really wanted to pull up. But I'm like, I'm not even going to pull up. I'm going to wait till the morning. You're right. Like, I'll wait. So I waited till the morning, y'all. That was a long-ass motherfucking night. I could not sleep. It was morning. Like, it was early as fuck in the morning. I wanted to go over there. But I'm like, I'm going to wait. So next thing you know, it was probably like 8. Because Joe used to wake up early as fuck. And it was like 8 in the morning. And Joe calling me. So I'm like, hello? Like, I'm like, hello? Like, in an irritated voice. I'm like, and he like, what's up, baby? Like, what's wrong with you? I said, what the fuck you mean wrong with me? I'm like, you was texting me all that bullshit last night, da-da-da-da-da-da. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about texting you all that bullshit? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, stop fucking playing with me. Like, you texting me this, so I'm just like, stop playing with me. He's like, I'm finna pull up right now. Like, I was finna ask you, like, did you want some Burger King breakfast? Because he knew I like Burger King breakfast. So I'm just like, yeah, pull up. Like, what the fuck? Like, you got me fucked up. Stop playing. Like, why are you playing games? Like, I'm like, you're childish as fuck. You're a weirdo, da-da-da-da-da. Like, you're weird, da-da-da. So he's still confused. Like, he did not get off the phone because he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm just like, stop playing with me. Like, text messages is right here. Like, I have no text messages. Like, he's like, last time we talked is when I told you I was going to sleep. And he was like, and that was it. Like, that's the last time I text you. And I'm like, bro, okay. So he pulled up and I'm showing him the text messages. So I'm like, you're in love with Turtle, da 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 da, like she's pregnant supposedly, like why you're being weird. And he was just like, man, what the fuck? Okay, I promise to God I never did nothing with Turtle. That bitch is not pregnant by me. What the fuck? And I'm just like, then why were you texting me this shit? And he like, I was not texting you. He's like, last night after I went to go do some shit with Stinky Feet, I'll be about to slip and say these people's names. But he was like, last night when I was gonna go do some shit with Stinky Feet, he was like, it was super late. And he was like, and my mom was sleeping. I forgot my house key. Mind you, his house key is on his car key. But he like, I forgot my house key and it was too late and they wasn't up. He was like, so I spent the night at Stinky Feet house. He was like, so she must have gotten my phone and did some weird shit. He's like, I told you the bitch is weird and I think she liked me, blah, blah, blah. I said, if you couldn't get in the house, mind you, I'm yelling at him. I'm like, if you couldn't get in the house, why the fuck you didn't come to my house? You told me you was spending the night. I'm yelling at him and he just like, calm down, like what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm mad too because I didn't want to spend the night at they stanky ass house. And I'm like, you, like, mind you, at this point we're yelling at each other because it's like, bitch, you got me fucked up. For when you were supposed to spend a night at my house anyway. So if you didn't have your keys regardless, why the fuck? And mind you, like I said before, y'all, we did not live far from each other. It was times where we would walk to each other's house when we was younger and shit. So stop playing with me. So I'm just like, this story is not making no fucking sense. And he like, I promise you that bitch is a weirdo. Da da da. I'm gonna tell Stinky Feet like, hey, tell your sister to leave me the fuck alone. The bitch is weird. So I said, let's go over there. And he was like, what? I said, let's go to your house. And he was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, let's go to your house right now. I said, Stinky Feet I got IG. She got anything like that? And he was like, I don't know what the fuck she got. So I'm like, she got a Facebook, blah, 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 blah. So I'm remembering the name. I'm going through, I'm searching the name. I found Stinky Feet Facebook, found their mama in Facebook, and then I found her because she didn't have Stinky Feet as a friend, but I found her from her mama's page, and I hit her up. I said, bitch, where the fuck you at? And she was just like laughing my ass off, like, you're mad because your nigga love me. And I was like, are you pregnant or not? I said, because I'm finna beat your ass. He was like, I promise to God she is not pregnant. So I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? Like, you know? So I'm like telling him, he's like, why you going back for her? I'm like, pull up to your house, like, period. Like, period. And he was like, I'm not pulling up over there. I said, because if you're lying, I'm like, well, take me back home then, because after we get this stank ass little Burger King, take me back home. At this point, I don't even want to eat. My appetite is thrown. And I was like, when you take me home, I'm pulling up and I'm finna fight her, because this point I'm irritated. So she's like, I don't know if I'm pregnant. I said, she don't know if she's pregnant. At this point, I'm crying. I'm yelling, she's pregnant. Because mind you, when we was together, we used to be them dumb six. That don't even matter. But anyway, so I'm just like, she's pregnant. Like, what the fuck? He's like, I promise you, she is not pregnant. That bitch is a weirdo. He was like, let me call her right now. I thought you didn't have her number. I thought y'all didn't talk. I thought she was a weirdo that liked you. Now all of a sudden you got her number and you could call the bitch. So I might call her right now. So he called her. He was just like, Turtle, what the fuck, bitch? You're a weirdo. Why the fuck you even? She like, calm down. Calm down. I did you a favor. So now you ain't got to sneak to fuck with me. You just could cut the bitch off. Like, and she was like, man, bitch, you're a weirdo. I ain't never fucked you. And she's like, you never fucked me. You fucked me last night when you spent the night you was sleeping in my bed. And I'm just like, y'all, in this drive through, I'm like, bitch, I'm finna come beat your ass. And I was like, and I'm done. Like, I ain't fucking with you no more. And I'm like, I'm finna come. I'm like, take me over there. Like, I'm hot. And y'all, I know y'all probably thinking, like, why are you mad at her? I was mad at him too. You know, her loyalty wasn't to me. But when you smiling in my face, at that time, when you hopped in my car and you're smiling in my face at the mall shit, you had already did something with my nigga. Why the fuck you in my face? You're a weirdo. Regardless if you, okay, before, you probably didn't know he had a girlfriend or whatever the case may be. He could have lied or whatever. Even though I was always over there. I don't know, maybe what he tell y'all is his god sister, bitch. So I'm just like, she probably didn't know, because it would be times where I'll see her, but I didn't pay her no fucking mind. You know, she never would like come speak or whatever, because he didn't know them people at first. So I'm just like, you know, so whatever in the beginning. But when you knew it, when you found out this was my boyfriend and you hopped in my car, you went to the mall with us, you're trying to be friendly, buddy and shit, a weird fucking bitch smiling in my face, you're doing the most at this point. At this point, you're doing the most. So at this point, you disrespect me and I need to fight you. So I was just so hot. And he was just like, yeah, no, matter of fact, you about to beat her ass. You finna beat her. He was like, yeah, you finna beat that bitch up, because that bitch a weirdo. She's lying. Like, she's lying to not fuck her. And I'm like, why do you have her number? Like, why do you have her number? And he just like, oh, because Stinky Feet called me off her phone and the bitch probably got my number out of his phone. So I'm like, which is it? Did he call you off her phone, or did she get your number out of his phone? And I'm like, and how the fuck she get in your phone? Like, come on, like, nothing's making sense to me. If you was sleep in Stinky Feet's room, how the fuck she get your phone? Like, what, she creep tiptoed in the room and got the damn phone? Y'all, I was like, yo, this is not making no fucking sense. Like, bro, stop playing with me. So I'm so irritated. So I'm in the car and I'm crying, because y'all, I used to be so emotional. So I'm in the car, I'm just crying. I don't even want this shit no more. Like, he just like, man, you gonna eat this fucking food. You ain't finna be hungry fighting this bitch. So I'm just thinking, like, he really want me to fight this bitch, but I already want to fight her too. So I'm like, just go to the house. So I'm irritated, I'm shaking, I'm just like, oh, like, I'm texting my homegirl, and she's just like, bitch, what the fuck? So I'm on the phone with my homegirl in the car at this point. I'm just like, this nigga's a fucking weirdo, and da-da-da-da-da. He like, man, oh God, telling my homegirl, oh God, I did not fuck with her, sis. You know I would not do no shit like that. Why would I? And she's just like, oh my God, Simone, calm down. I said, no, I'm finna go fight her. So y'all, I hit her up on Facebook, and I said, bitch, come outside, because I'm finna pull up and I'm finna fight you. So she was just like, okay, like, ain't nobody scared of you. You gotta wait till my sister come home. So I said, I'm coming by myself. It's just me and him. Like, what the fuck? I need to wait till your sister come home first. She was like, well, because I'm not about to fight you by myself, where my sister is not there to make sure no weird shit happen. I said, what weird shit is gonna happen, bitch? Am I gonna duplicate myself and beat and jump you? The fuck? So I'm irritated. I'm like, just pull up. I don't give a fuck what she talking about. So he like, Stinky Feet, come outside. Tell your sister to come outside. So she just not trying to come outside or whatever, and it's just her and Stinky Feet at home, and Stinky Feet was just like, bro, this is just too messy. Like, man, she don't want to fight, she don't want to fight. So I'm like, nah, she was talking all that shit, she's gonna fight me. Like, she didn't come outside. So I'm just like, I don't give a fuck if I wait here all day. I'm that mad, I'm gonna fight her. So y'all, so she ended up eventually coming outside, because I'm just like, bitch, you're scary, you talking all this shit. And I'm just like outside ready, y'all, like ready. Mind you, I ain't even got fighting clothes on. I got on fucking sandals, because when he pulled up, we was just going to Burger King, and then boom, you know. So I like got on sandals. I'm like, fuck. So I end up, oh, excuse me. So she ended up coming outside, y'all. She ended up coming outside, and we like, oh my God, we fighting in an alley. Mind y'all, again, I have sandals on. I busted my fucking toe, because I'm going nuts. Like, I'm going crazy. Like, I fell. Like, she pulling my hair and shit. I ain't got no scarf, no nothing. So I fell. I like scraped my leg. I bust my toe. Like, but I don't give a fuck. I was still going in, and to where they had to pull us off, because he's standing there like this, like, yeah, Simone, do your shit, Simone. Like, he really just like, I'm his kid, and yeah, and I'm fighting my bully or something. This nigga was just letting us fight. Like, we was fighting for a very long time, to where Stinky Feet had to break it up, because Stinky Feet like, man, bro, this is not cool. Like, this not cool. And she just like crying. She was just like, you really fucking on me? You just like that. She's like, I thought you said you didn't want to be with her no more. What's the problem? And he's like, bitch, I never. Just lying. He's still lying. So she like, you never touched me, like, ever. He like, I never did nothing with you. And she's like, are you serious? Like, you playing? So then she was like, I could show you pictures of this nigga sleep in my bed. And he was just like, where's the pictures at? Where's the pictures at? Mind you, he knew it was pictures, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just like mad, and she just like, here's the pictures, like showing me the pictures, like came up close. Mind you, we're not fighting no more at this point. She showed me the pictures, and I'm like, let me see. I'm shaking. I grabbed it, I see the picture, I threw the fucking phone. I just threw it. And she just like, you a weird bitch, like, and I'm just like, fight me again. Because at this point, why are we not fighting again? I'm so weird, and I'm just still so mad. But she was not trying to fight me again, and I wasn't trying to fight her again. At this point, I know my toe was busted, and that shit hurted. So I'm just like, whatever. So I'm mad as fuck. Mind y'all, I didn't drive over there, so I'm like, take me home. And he like, nah, let's go in the house. I said, take me the fuck home. I need to go home. Like, I'm bleeding and shit. Like, my fucking toe is bleeding, and my leg is scraped up. Like, take me home. Mind y'all, when we was fighting, it was so many little kids out and shit, and I just didn't even want to fight in front of them kids. But at that time, I didn't see nothing else but me beating her ass. So I was just so mad. He ended up taking me home and just like kicking it with me, like, no, you could. I promise you, it wasn't even like that. Me sleeping in her bed, she wasn't at home. You know, she be at work. And Stinky Feet said we could go in my sister's room because his feet stink, y'all. His feet stink in his room. And I'm like, that bitch stink too. Like, you know, I'm just hot, and I'm just like, yo, I was so fucking mad. I was hot. After that, we kind of like fell off for a while, which ended up going into some other shit, with some crazy shit, with some shit that I'm gonna get to. But y'all, it was just so bad because I was hot, and I was just hurt because I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I understand we young and shit, but if you want to do you without me. Like, what the fuck you got me here for? And then you're lying. So finally, I'm just like, tell me the truth. I'm like, why was she saying she was pregnant? And he was just like, okay, I promise you, we did it one time and we had a condom on. So I don't even know why she said that. I just lied because I didn't think you would believe me, but I don't know why she would say that. Like, she's not pregnant. Most definitely, she's not pregnant. And he was just like, if she was pregnant, when she had came outside and fought you, like, she would stay in the house, right? And I was just so mad. I'm like, bro, you got me out here looking stupid as fuck. Like, as fuck. Like, you could have, like, you got me looking stupid. I'm over here. How you know next, when I seen her before all this shit popped off, I could have spoke to the bitch or just hired. What if she'd have still been buddy friendly with me? You know, and it was just so irritating. And y'all, why I said it makes sense about fucking Stinky Feet, being weird about the sister or wanted to go third wheel with us and stuff, because Stinky Feet ended up finding out that he was fucking with his sister. And mind you, this nigga, when he got money, I don't know who the fuck he thought he was, but he used to get a mama money and shit. He used to buy stinky feet shit. Like, he just was doing the most when he started fucking with this bitch. Like, he was doing so much. He wanted to come in that house like he was just that nigga, like he was the man. So Stinky Feet noticed, like, when you fucking on my sister, you doing the most. Like, you putting me on the money plots, you doing this. But, you know, so that's why Stinky Feet used to really try to be third wheel with us. It was multiple times like he really would try to be with us third wheel, because I really think, you know, like, Stinky Feet was trying to, I don't know, like, be like, yeah, bitch, you need to go. Because if he doing all of this little shit for us now because he fucking my sister, but if he was fucking with her 100% without you, oh. So I don't know, but Stinky Feet would end up being a weird ass snitch anyway. But that's neither here nor there. But anyway, y'all, that's the story time, man. I was so fucking mad, and there's more story times to come. I just had to get that one out. And yeah, so if y'all like this story and you haven't clicked that button yet, y'all make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Vivalayoshii. Thank you guys for tuning in.